for this effect, I can hand the deck over to the participant and they can give it a shuffle. After they're done shuffling the deck, I would take the cards back and I would ask the participant to hold out their hand. However, because I don't have a participant, we're going to use the card box. So the card I'm going to hand the participant is the Ace of Clubs, as you can see. Going to place the Ace of Clubs in the participant's hand, and they can place their other hand on top to make a sandwich. So let's say like that. So I'm going to take the next card, the 10 of clubs here, and I'm going to see if I can get the 10 and the ace to switch places so fast you don't even see it. You know what? Actually, instead of the 10 of clubs, I'm thinking of the 10 of spades, just because I like spades better than clubs. So if I tap the box, or in this case the hand, you can see that I have the ace of clubs, and if the participant moves their hand and turns over the card, they can see the 10 of spades. That is the effect. If you would like to learn how to do this, stick around for the tutorial. Before I get into the tutorial, the cards that I'm using are the Leo cards. I have a deck review on these. I will link that in the description if I can find the link. So there are a couple of ways you can go about this effect. I'm going to show you how I did it in the performance. Then I'm going to show you a way you can do it for beginners and some other ways you can get into this. So the first thing I did was hand the deck over to the participant and have them shuffle it. You don't even need a full deck, which is great for this effect. So the only thing you really need to do for all of these ways is know the top card. Feel free to know the top card any way you would like. But how I did it in the performance was after the deck was shuffled, I took it back, and when I was squaring it up, I just happened to do a dribble, and I just held back on the top card slightly longer than the rest, just to catch a peek and know what the card is. If you don't know how to dribble, I will leave a link in the description. The next thing I did was a double lift. So it looked like I showed them the top card when in fact I showed them the second card. If you're not familiar with the double lift, you don't know how to do it, I will leave all my links in the description for the double lift. So you say, okay, we're going to use the 5 of diamonds, and I would like for you to hold out your hand. So they do that, you place the 5, which they think it is, and it's really not. It's that card you peeked at. You have the 5, and then I have them place their hand on top, just to sell the effect better, and just so they don't turn over their hand. Now you're going to take the next card and you're going to make it look like you're going to turn it over. Then you change your mind and you're going to leave it like this. Now, all I'm doing is looking at this card, but I'm going to miscall it. So they think they have the 5 when they don't. So you're going to make this card seem like the 5 of diamonds, which you showed them, okay? And you're going to make this card seem like a totally random card. In this case, the 4 of clubs, which you've handed them. So, I say, okay, I'm going to take the 4 of clubs, and I'm going to see if I can get it to switch places so fast you don't even see it. So you can do anything you want at this point, but all I do is a tap, and then slowly I turn it over, and I show the 5, and then when they turn over their hand, they have the 4. So really, they thought you handed them the 5, and then they thought this card you were about to turn over but you didn't was the 4, and then somehow they switched places. But that is really the bare bones of the effect. So now I'm going to get into a beginner way and some other ways you can get a peek at a card. So obviously you know the dribble. Another way you can do it is the overhand shuffle. If you're not familiar with the overhand shuffle, I will link that in the description. But one way I would do it is first the participant shuffles the deck, and then when they're done, they hand it to you, and you can talk to them about what the effect is going to be, or really anything. And I'm going to start shuffling like this, and when I see a card I can remember easy, let's say the King of Hearts, I'm going to shuffle just the King off, and then I can shuffle the rest. If you wanted, you could shuffle some more, and you could do this two ways. You could either shuffle the entire deck except the king, or you could shuffle about half of the cards. So if you wanted to shuffle everything except the king, you would apply pressure to the back and top card here, peel out either all the cards or a chunk. It really doesn't matter, and then you can shuffle these, and you can really do this as much as you would like, and it's going to keep that king there the entire time. If you want to shuffle half, you can hold in your other hand, and then you can shuffle the cards, and when you have about half in your hand, half in your other hand, take the lower hand and take your fingers and push them, back or even up to move these cards back, and then throw the rest on top. And that will move the king. Another way you could do this is with a spread. So they shuffle, you can ribbon spread these and show they're all different. You just look at the top card and remember it. And of course, if you want to make it easy, you could start to scoop up the cards. Just look at a card you can remember easy. Let's say the King of Spades. Apply pressure with your thumb. Move all these cards back and then forward, throw them on the bottom, and continue squaring up the deck. And then that will get the card you want to the top. But you should actually do that with the card above it. So let's say we wanted the Jack of Spades. We would do the Two of Diamonds. I would scoop up the two, throw it on top, and square up everything. So this is the jack. One more way, and probably my favorite way, is the call. If you're not familiar with the call, I have talked about it a lot on this channel. Probably my favorite sleight, or one of my favorites. I will leave a link in the description. So, finally, after all of that, let's say you go ahead and get a card on top you can remember easy. So let's say in this case, we do the Jack of Spades. Once you have that card on top, you ask them to hold out their hand. You're going to do that double lift and say, okay, we have the Eight of Clubs. Well, actually, no. Let's start from the beginning, because I said I was going to show you the easier way. You're going to start off by having a card selected, actually. Now, you don't want that top card selected, so you could have them cut the cards, you could riffle down, you could take your other hand that's not holding the deck, place your thumb on top of it, and then use the thumb with the hand that's holding the deck and spread the cards. Have them select one from the middle. If you're not comfortable with that, you can swing cut, which I'll leave a link for, and you can do a one-handed fan, which I will leave a link for as well. So let's say in this case they take out this card. I explained before you look at it, I'm going to turn around because I don't want to see it. Once I turn around, I'm going to talk and do this at the same time. I say, okay, you can look at your card and remember it, and you can show it around, sign it, do whatever. I'm going to turn the top card face up, riffle up just that one card, put my pinky in. I can put the card back down and turn my wrist over. So now you have a break underneath the top card set up for a double lift. So now they look at their card and remember it. In this case, the two of hearts. Here is the exposed view. Obviously, everything would be like this, but you're going to take this card and say, okay, let's take your two. You're going to place it on the bottom of the deck. Use my index finger to push the card down. And once I can't push it down anymore, I'm going to turn my hand over. So it's going to look like this. Now you're all set, so you can lift up at that break, do your double lift, and hand them what they think is the two, but you know it's the jack. And now because you got a peek at it, you're all set. You say, okay, I'm gonna take the jack of spades. It's really not, it's their card. And I'm gonna get them to switch places. So you can tap the deck, do whatever you want, show the two of hearts, and then when they turn over their card, they have the jack of spades. And that is the effect. So I hope you really enjoyed this effect. If you are new here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next time with a new video. Bye.